use that one.
Well,
The microphones are not on.
Why not?
wait a minute, okay, now,
No one turned them on.
Okay.
they're on now.
There you go.
Okay, we'll start with our roll call. Ms. Pearson, present. Alderman Anglers? Present. Alderman Giovanni?
Present.
Okay, we're ready to roll. Item number 1.1, special virtual street committee meeting, August 3rd, 2021. We'll entertain a motion.
Move to waive the reading and approve the special street committee meeting minutes of August 3rd, 2021.
I'll second. Dave, what was that?
I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry. I was going to second it.
I heard you were saying something.
Nope.
I think you seconded it, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Motion
Aye.
passes.
I made a comment on the August 3rd minutes. I don't have a problem accepting it. There's a number of things in there that are pending. And you may have some of them going forward, and we may have to go back and just take it step by step.
Okay.
And go through those minutes, because they are outlined literally of what we need to find out the status of the various projects.
All
All
right.
right, so we've accepted that, and we're finished with that. We'll move forward, but we may come back to it. We'll need a reference.
Okay, new business, 2.1, storm drain inspections. Brian, did you have something for that?
Yes, actually, Bruce and I both brought, it's a book. Shows every catch basin in town. Pipe size and where they flow to, etc.
We spent the last year and a half
Yeah,
compiling,
inspecting all the basins, yeah.
and
We're just trying to grab that mic
Yes, we brought a book of the maps of every basin and pipe size and where they're flowing to in town.
like I said, we spent the last year and a half compiling the information. Environmental partners, we had them as a consultant. They then compiled it into a GIS format, and that's what we have now. So anything that's added, changed.
I think the issue that arose over that, over the catch basins was, do they get inspected? And I think the question, the reference was to whether or not would they fill up?
Right.
Too much, if they get too much silt, the water doesn't go out.
Correct.
And so the question was, are they done on a regular basis? Is there a plan for it? I think that was the
Yes, do you
reference.
know what the percentage of basins is that needs to be cleaned? Or-
The first 3 years, we had to have 50% of them, I believe, inspected and cleaned. Based on how full they were, they would then develop a schedule as to inspection. Some basins fill up quicker than others based on where they are, so they are inspected quicker or more often.
Some fill faster than others.
Right,
Yes.
yes. You have neighborhoods where people throw leaves in the gutter, things like that.
Right.
So there's no set schedule throughout the city, but every catch basin, once it gets inspected, they go back, they check again to see how much it's filled up, if at all.
Do you get citizen calls that report?
We do.
We rely on those.
Yes, absolutely.
There was one that I received during this past storm this weekend from the fire department, who told me that the Pine Rock Park Fire Department was heavy water down there, it was overflowing. And so they got in a truck and they come up and checked every catch basin along Long Hill Avenue. And they found that they were all in good working order. They were contributing.
Right.
But they found that one near 675 Long Hill Avenue. There's one right near there, and they said that was bubbling up. So it might indicate some clogging within the pipe.
Or it could be
Yeah, so
overwhelmed.
Maybe.
Right,
it-
just too much
I
water.
told them I passed that
Yeah,
along
you
to
did, yeah.
everybody. And so that was the only, but they checked them all the way up.
I think it's, I know when I drive around the city during any rain event, if I see something that's backed up, I just get off, get out and clean it with my shoes to get the water in.
Well, it's debris.
Right.
In every storm, debris is washed out and the catch basins do their job. The grates are designed to catch the debris and not let it go in and clog up the pipes.
Right, exactly.
So after the storm, it has to be cleaned.
Right.
And many times, people who live near them will go out and clear them. And many times, it's us that has to go out and do it. So that should be, following the storm, somebody should put that as a regular.
Right. Again,
Take a look at it, just go around and clear them up.
with 4,800 catch basins,
I know.
takes a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
kinda
eye.
hard,
So it helps when a resident from some street that you rarely drive on, because it might be a dead end. If there's an issue and they notify either the highway department or us, we communicate, try to figure out what's going on.
It's usually looked at within
Right.
24 hours of the phone.
That goes to what I said last month, we can't be everywhere. It's not possible.
So that's-
And if people see something, then please call us, let us know, and
Right.
we will get it addressed.
Especially,
And I think, Public Works and Rimus, the engineer's office is very, very receptive and you really do, you do everything, and then some. So hopefully if people do see something, they will call it in and we can get it addressed.
Yeah, if we're notified, then we will address it.
Yeah,
Sometimes it gets lost, where they call the wrong department, it never gets to us.
right.
We can't help that, but if we know about it, we look at it.
absolutely.
It's good that you have those books and it's really good to see that.
Yeah.
And like I said, we knew there was a tremendous amount of these with the
Right.
storm drain, and we have a lot of mileage. If you look at how many square miles we are as a city, and the amount of roads. That's a telling tale.
Oh, yeah, 215 miles of road and you have 30 employees.
I think it's even more than that.
And it could be, but that, it's tough to look at them all.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for the update on that. Anything more on item 2.1?
Just summarize by saying, I think the issue that was brought up, the question was brought up, was one of, do we have a basis to go and look at them? Do we have a priority basis, et cetera? And I think the answer that you just gave us, system is based on experience, which catch basins need the cleaning and which catch basins need for maintenance.
Right, that was the start.
And that's the priority assignment.
And we do log every basin that's cleaned.
Yeah.
So we can move on. Like this time of year is tough for us to get out there and do that with all the paving and road maintenance we have going on.
Yeah, well, this is the time of the year to get the paving done.
Right.
Sure.
Well, we have to keep track. of
Weather
how much-
permitting.
Right, and we have to keep track of how much sediment gets pulled out of those basins,
How much
to
material
report
take
to the
out.
state every year.
Oh,
So,
I think too, just the last point on this one is the amount of storms that we've had, where we've had 5, 6, 8, this last one, we had, 9 inches of rain when we had the remnants of the hurricane. I mean, and any storm drain under them extreme conditions is gonna get overrun.
yeah, you have to realize that depending on the street, the storm drains, the systems are designed to handle different amounts of water. You're not gonna install the same size system on a small dead end that you would on Long Hill, per se, because there's criteria we use, whether it's designed for a 25-year storm or a 5-year storm. So, you get a storm that's more severe, some of the smaller streets won't handle the water that some of the larger roads do.
Okay, on to old business follow-up. 3.1, an update on our 2020 schedule. I know weather has not been permitting,
No, not at all.
it's just been,
Yeah.
and I'm hearing we're gonna get more rain tomorrow now.
Yeah, but from what they say, it's not supposed to be anywhere near what the last two were anyway.
Thank God.
But South Constitution is done. Rocky Rest is done. We're expecting Coachella towards the end of this week for Elm Monroe, that area. And we're also milling Waverly Road tomorrow, beginning tomorrow. So we'll add that onto the list as well before they get out of here. And then we have minor in-house stuff we're gonna take care of, such as Tuxedo, Harvard number 1, Harvard number 2, and Summer Street, which is right here.
Well, I have, this is where the discussion from the last time comes in. You had Jefferson Avenue, a small area, you're gonna mill and patch it.
Those were done.
That was done.
Okay, there's Tuxedo Avenue, mill and pave this year.
Yeah,
Was that done yet?
not yet.
Not yet.
Those are gonna be in-house.
Okay, Mills Rock Road. You were going, mill and pave is starting Monday. Was that done?
It's all done.
That's done. Thompson Street, mill and patch.
That's a small section. That's not done yet either.
And then there's a guardrail near Falmouth, the ravine near Falmouth, and you're gonna go up. take a
Yeah, I
look?
looked at, to be honest, I don't think there's enough room to put a guardrail there. We're gonna take up too much road space.
Yeah, it's very, very narrow as it is.
Oh,
And according to, I spoke with Mark Singlinger at PD, I mean, there's not a history of people going off the road there, so it's not.
Yeah.
oh, you brought it to Mark's attention.
I did.
And I think for purposes of public understanding, Mark Singleton is the traffic.
Sergeant of traffic division.
Charge of Police Department traffic, and he evaluates all the traffic issues.
Correct.
So is he gonna look into it with
Yes.
respect to signage or anything of that?
Well, I'll speak to him again about it.
Okay, appreciate it.
Absolutely.
What's the status of the grass and the brush cutter?
We received the PO.
As of last month, it was currently down and parts were obsolete.
Right.
We were putting a bid package together but you didn't know whether it was gonna be for a new arm or a whole new machine.
Right, so it went out for a new arm, which will attach to an existing machine that the Parks Department has. We received the PO for it already. I'm in contact with the manufacturer, just trying to get it to him to get it all set up and ready to go.
If we don't move with more dispatch, summer's gonna be over.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's been our problem, but be quite honest about it.
Yeah.
That's been our problem. We, this brush cutter seems it's always got its problems. The minute we take it out and start using it, it
Yeah.
breaks down.
Actually, the parts for it are obsolete, so that's why we got
Well,
a
I'll tell you
whole new
what,
arm.
we'll stand ready to buy you a new one.
Okay. Well, we got one. We got the PO already signed for it. So it's gonna go attached to a machine that the Parks Department has. This way, not only can my department use it, but the Parks Department can use
Yeah, and believe me, as I mentioned to you once before, an example, Rocky Rest Road,
it. Mhm.
from Barber Drive up to
Yeah.
Shelview,
Mhm.
both sides are treated to the
Yeah.
road. And there's other places around.
There's a lot of places, but it's
Yeah,
just,
that-
it's hard to do with just weed whackers though, that amount
Yeah,
of.
That discussion was gonna be tied in with 3.2, which was the line of sight issues. That's where the issue of the brush cutter came in, but since we covered the brush cutter, we can just go right through these. You know, we'll just follow up on them as they're able to get done.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, what I'm saying there, and I'm not trying to
Yeah.
redesign your agenda, but these are items from the last
Right.
meeting, and we just have to go through them meticulously to find out what the status is, so that we're.
yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, like, for instance, there's Thompson Street near 249. And you said that's a in-house spill and patch.
Right,
And I just have to raise the question, what's the status?
yeah, and we just got, with this, we had a few minor issues flooding wise that we needed to, some road repairs that needed
So some of.
priority.
So some of these things are not priority.
Right.
And when you get the heavy rains, they take priority.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's understandable. Monroe Street drainage, and an issue there. Everything comes down at Elm Culvert and eventually ends up in the Means Brook.
Right. We discussed.
I think what you said last
Very,
night.
very,
Goes in
very,
very-
Why
very,
did you
right.
say the engineering
Right.
problem and perhaps an outside engineer to take a look at it?
Yeah.
If you guys need an outside engineer, let us know. We'll provide the money if you don't have it in your budget.
Oh, yeah, I don't have any money set aside for designing projects like that, so I think I spoke to Eric about.
And you know something, I think we've been told that there's some road monies are available in American Relief money. So we just have to be aware of what you want to do, just let us know.
Yeah, I think we need to do a study of the
Okay.
Monroe Street area.
Just let us know that what you want to do, let the mayor know, he'll send it through to us, we'll put it on the agenda and get you some money, find out what it's gonna cost.
We'll put it on an RFP and then, yeah.
Yeah. And for that reason alone, we're glad to see you here tonight.
Yeah, it's his birthday.
That takes care of the previous, go ahead, Eric, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the next four items are the line of sight issues, which we'll follow up on. I think we've discussed some of these. Shelton Avenue near Pine Lake,
Mhm.
coming down towards the library. There's that pull-off area it's a dirt area, but between the dirt area and the first house is number 130.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have that property and, I know people pulling out of there, that's just, an issue there. Then the triangle where Perry, Worcester and Meadow meet, when we redid Perry Hill Avenue, we put the big retaining wall up, I think it's number 112, Perry Hill Road. I'm sorry, yeah, Perry Hill Road.
Oh, right, yeah, okay.
Where the big retaining wall is, that's just all high, and if you're coming down Perry Hill and you want to take a left to go down Worcester, around that little triangle,
Yeah, you can't see around. the
you
corner.
can't see, around it, so that's another, issue there. Then we have, which as you see on the agenda, Upper East Village Road near Longfellow.
Mhm.
And so that's that one. And we spoke this morning about 145.
Right,
And I saw that one. I have to tell you, that one was really, that shook me when I saw the young lady with the kid trying to get out and just.
that was Rocky Rest, I believe.
Nels Rock.
That was Rocky.
Yeah.
All right, I have it written down on my desk. So.
Okay. And then you had given us the update already on the brush cutter.
Yeah, I hope to get it to the guy this week so we can get it mounted and get this thing rolling.
Yeah.
So,
Brian, does the state have any of these?
mowers,
Yeah,
they do.
and is that something, because I remember years ago, and it was a part of, it may be a little bit off the beaten path, so bear with me. When, it was a part of when we founded emergency management, and when we created our emergency management, it enabled the city to get on the list to get state and federal surplus equipment.
Right.
And I'm wondering if there's some kind of surplus equipment that, in this area, you know, like whether it's a dump truck or whether it's
I've looked on their
a
their
grass
website,
cutter,
and
yeah.
stuff they're putting on there lately it's not worth it.
You know, and I know Representative Perillo had contacted the DOT because they do all of the brush on the state roads, Bridgeport Avenue. And he's contacted them, I think, 3 times.
Yeah,
And there's still nothing. I mean, the weeds are so high. If you go down towards Long Hill Crossroads, there's a speed limit sign on the right. The brush is higher than the speed limit sign.
yeah.
But he's contacted them and everything, so I'm just not sure what's going on there, or why they're not doing it, but. That was just a thought that maybe they had some kind of a.
Yeah,
surplus.
actually, I even looked into renting something,
Yeah.
but companies don't do that anymore, because they take such a beating that it's not worth it to rent them out.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go to number 4, which is just,
You got Rocky Rest, the 3.4, Rocky Rest Road drainage.
oh, okay, I was gonna bring it up under my report, but we'll address it. Now, in fact, John, I'm gonna let you do that because the email went to you.
Yeah, well, I first of all, I think everybody recognizes the amount of work and the time that you took to evaluate Rocky West Road. It was a nightmare because it's all ledge up there.
Yes,
It's all ledge. You just can't dig into the ground. And that's a problem. But you observed it, and we were in touch for the last couple of years. You observed it, and you had it to the point where it looked. Last year we had no icing issues,
right, that's what they're.
essentially none, and nobody ever saw what happened. And this last rainfall, it appeared near number 71.
Correct,
Between the fire hydrant and
The
the
driveway.
driveway for 71, on the side of the hill there, Pat Gatisek told me that she thinks that there's a spring in there.
there is.
And if there is, there's gotta be some way that we gotta control that, because that just pumped all kinds of water out onto the street and
Right.
across, and in the winter, it's gonna be ice.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, the spring appeared after we paved.
Yeah, I know it, I
Oh,
said, all the time we took, and the
Yeah, it just
number of
seems to be
times
the way
that
it
we went
works
up and
sometimes.
observed it.
Yeah, right.
And
Remus
to
and I
put
were
in
out
a new
there.
catch basin right there, just up the street from it, right near the fire hydrant.
That's what we're gonna do. Remus and I were out there, and this way we can keep most of the digging, or 99% in the gutter away from fresh asphalt. So that's the last thing I wanna do is tear up the asphalt that we just paved.
Right.
So it should relieve it.
Yeah, when that water comes off that spring or off that hill,
Mhm.
I think we gotta go a little bit further. I think we gotta, one of the next driveway down
Yes,
is water is coming off the driveway onto the street. All right?
Well, I don't know, we didn't see it that day when. we
No.
went
We
there.
were out there.
But I saw it. And the homeowner has said that, that's not me, it's the place that never happened before, but the place they built up on top of the mountain, what is it, the Bank of Scotland?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
their stuff. So I don't know if you have any way of observing or checking that out up there. Is the Bank of Scotland contributing? You know, are they putting their downflows? I mean, is that what's doing it? Because it seems, you know where it is? It's right where the emergency exit is for the Bank of Scotland.
Right.
And it's just to the right of that
That's where spring popped up,
where
right?
the water is really popping out. You know, Pat thinks it's a spring. If it isn't a spring and it's coming from Bank of Scotland or something, that maybe it's their downspouts, somebody's got to check that out.
And when we were there, we could see it coming out of the ground.
We
Right.
yeah,
Just one particular spot.
we can't fail to go up and look at, and make sure that the Bank of Scotland is not contributing to this problem.
Okay.
Because our people deserve it. They deserve to know that we've done everything possible. Now, because if we go in there and we put in another catch basin and catch the water as it comes off, that's fine, but Bank of Scotland is causing it. Is there some way we can alleviate it?
Right. Well, we'll look into it, but I honestly don't think it's
You think
coming from them. I just think it's a natural spring that
You think
finally
it's a-
found its way out.
I mean, there's just so much rock there too that,
I know.
It just bleeds through it.
right, it comes right down the hill, but, we'll take a look at that, but that would have been something new that they would have changed.
Right.
So,
Well, and you know something, it certainly, that downpour.
Ah.
I mean, the lady
That
said,
was
the lady was good enough to take a video, and it was very helpful for all of us.
Oh, it was.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Very
it's-
helpful.
it helps when we get that information.
Yeah.
Because, we don't know that there's an issue there until somebody tells us.
Yeah, it was very helpful. And so, I told them, we are definitely, we're not finished there,
No,
far from it, but we'll be back. And that, I told them about the meeting today, and told them that you guys are going up and taking another look at it.
Mhm.
You were leaning in the direction of another catch basin.
right.
Where would that catch basin exit?
There's an existing basin below the driveway,
Yeah.
so we're just gonna tie it right into that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then from there, it goes across the street into, that's Meansbrook, correct?
No, that's,
That's,
I was on the other side, that's.
all right, so
Means Brook is off of,
Yeah.
Shelton Avenue.
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Eric, I just got a question for Brian.
go ahead, David.
Hey, Brian, David Goodwani, how are you?
David, how are you?
Good, thank you. Just a question. You are milling Waverly tomorrow, is that correct?
Yeah, good timing.
Yeah, just the timing's not great, but just with the weather and the planning and the scheduling, it's just the way it worked out.
Just a suggestion, and first day of school tomorrow, and if you guys are milling tomorrow with the weather and bus drivers getting confused, stuff like that, you think you could postpone it a couple days? So at least the first day of school goes smooth on Waverly? Just a suggestion, just an idea.
Yeah, I
You know
was.
better.
No, I'd actually like to get it started. I was in communication with superintendent of schools, also with Ken Nappy from the buses. We're not gonna heed the buses in any way. They'll be able to get by regardless.
Okay. Okay.
And,
Then it would affect Coachella.
right,
There's-
yeah, then it just snowballs into scheduling the paving and all that the longer we wait.
Okay. Thank you, Brian.
And the code red call went out, I believe,
Right,
right?
yes,
This is milling and paving in Waverly?
yes.
Okay.
Milling first, then,
Then the pavement.
Let me bring up one other thing. I come up Todd Road today.
okay,
Todd Road was armor coated quite some time ago.
a few weeks ago, yeah,
It's still got many loose stones,
okay.
and it doesn't look good at all. I mean, what you call it, fog sealing?
Yes,
That fog sealing process, when's they gonna do it?
well, again, that's another thing with the weather. He's behind on where he is right now, so, I mean, I was told probably a week and a half ago that we're looking at 2 to 3 weeks, which now might be even longer, so. It's just the weather's killing us, because it has to be,
It is,
the road has to be dry.
Yeah.
You have to have dry conditions in order to apply it, so,
Because here now, like you said, I'm hearing we're gonna have rain tomorrow.
all right,
We just can't get a break from it. It's just been every week, or, several days, you get rain and more rain. And it's killing the schedule, and we'll do the best we can do.
I can tell you this, the fog sealing, once it's down, makes the road look like new.
oh, absolutely, it's good,
Well, Nels Rock Road is a good example.
And right now, it's not looking good. I mean, here's a road we spent a lot of money you know, to,
Yeah, I mean, if it's just loose stones, we can get them swept up. That's not an issue.
yeah. But I think that's one thing, because you drive over it, it's still banging stones around your car.
Yeah, and the fog seal will lock
They'll
all
lock it
that
in,
back into it, so.
yeah. Makes the fog seal makes the road look like new.
Yeah, and I can attest to that because when you did Nell's Rock Road, I mean, that road never looked better.
It's,
So
Yeah.
it's a very good process.
yeah, is there any way you can consider, think about, plan for, if you can, a different way to do that fog sealing? I mean, if this guy is to come back and wait, and, you know, it doesn't, I don't know,
Well, it's the process is the chip seal, and then
Yeah.
it sits for 2 to 3 weeks. Then he comes back and fog seals it, lets the cars run it over, all that. Then he
Right.
get any loose stones at that point, he sweeps up and then fog seals it.
well, we'll see what it does.
Yeah.
Okay, going to number 4, item 4, report of the chairman or remarks of the chairman. We spoke this morning on the area of asphalt that needs to be added up where Sawmill City Road and Stonewall there.
Yep, I'm gonna look at that tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll address that one. Then I think I'm just gonna mention something now, so we can start the discussions on this, is I had a call from a resident. I guess, yes, last night there was a pretty bad accident somewhere around exit 13
Yeah, that's what I understand.
on Route 8 there.
Mhm.
And the issue, the concern that the resident had brought up, what can we do to make that exit safer? And that's coming, I think it's northbound. If I'm coming northbound, it's exit 13, because I think there's been a history of some accidents there.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is a state issue, however, and we can contact our representatives and, but also we can maybe through our engineer, contact the state engineer as well to see, but the first thing is we've got to get the traffic study report from the traffic division to see, what their determinations of the causes of the accident. Was it speed? Was it something else? Or whatever. And I know sometimes too, when you come off the exit, you try to make the right turn and you're going too fast. That's another issue. So we have to find that part of it out, and we can contact the traffic division on that. But at least, to get the discussion started to see what we can do through the state.
What, I don't understand what the nature of the question is.
John, the resident had called me today.
Yeah.
And I guess they must have heard about the accidents, and they're aware of the accident history at the exit 13's northbound.
Exit 13,
13 where it comes up to Constitution, right there.
By Long Hill,
Yeah,
or Long Hill and Constitution.
northbound, that's towards Seymour.
Correct.
right,
And it comes up and it goes on
on,
Constitution.
that's correct,
That's the one.
right.
Okay, well, now what's the issue?
Well, the resident had expressed concerns about what can we do, or the state can do to make that exit safer. Because there is an accident history there that I think there's been a couple fatals there as well.
Yeah. Through the year.
Yeah. So one car, matter of fact, I had driven by and there was the car that came right across and was on the other side upside down. So, but we have to find out from the traffic division what their determination, what caused the accidents. But is there something that the state can do to make that safer when you come up? Because some people come off, they go to take the right turn and, they'll flip over or do whatever, but we have to find out what the causes were of the accidents. But at least, we get the discussion started to see if there is anything that the state can do to make that a little bit safer.
There's two things that I quickly pick up on here. One is the condition of the road.
Right.
And the design of the road,
Mhm.
and I don't think that's the issue.
Right.
Then the other thing is driver error.
Yes,
which in
Yeah.
most cases is the
Right.
cause of the problems.
Right.
well, this is why we wanted to see what the traffic division has to say about it.
I think if you, yeah, I think if you refer that to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not so sure that's a street committee issue as opposed to a public health and safety committee issue. And I think
Right.
we might refer it to them.
Well, I'm more than happy to do it, but at least, we can get the discussion started and to see where we can go from here, but I'm certainly more than happy to ask the Public Health and Safety Committee to take a look at it, and, there's something more that they can do that we can as the street committee, I'm certainly all for it.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do.
Right.
It's got nothing to do with city streets. That's not a city street, it's a state.
I'm aware of that.
Exactly.
And so the Constitution is a city street.
Correct.
Right,
But Constitution is not causing it.
right. Okay, anybody else have anything? Any other thoughts, issues, comments, concerns?
About anything?
I just think people should slow down on motorcycles. They were weaving through traffic, according to people mentioning it in the newspaper and on Channel 8, that a bunch of young kids weaving through traffic, and that's what I believe caused the accident. That's what I read in the newspaper this morning. So I guess, the drivers got to slow down too. The motorcycles got to slow down. Everybody's got to slow down, but everybody's in a hurry.
Yeah.
Need to enforce the lane split.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had a couple questions, actually,
Driver error again.
yeah,
That's it.
or aggressive, but I had the email regarding sidewalks.
yes,
And I had some questions because it says Long Hill Road sidewalk overlay, but that's the extent of it. Is there a particular area where we're looking to have it done?
We're looking at from River Road up to Sound Ridge.
No, this is the overlay. There's 4 sidewalk areas. That's the Pine Rock Park sidewalk that you had asked me about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the project that
Okay.
20 some odd
Yeah,
years ago they
right,
looked at.
right.
Threw it away because it really is not that feasible. If you want, we go out there and take a look at it.
Yeah,
But there was just a note here, it said Long Hill Road sidewalk overlay.
yeah. Yeah, that came from the mayor. And I think what he was referring to was to take a look at sidewalk. And I think he meant the sidewalk all along Long Hill Avenue and see what needed to be done. And if there's some areas that need to be overlaid, then we'll address them. But he didn't give me a specific.
So literally from the school
Yeah,
down to Constitution or all the way down to behind the
well,
stuff?
I think he was talking about, what he said was Long Hill sidewalks, Long Hill Avenue sidewalks. And they extend from Constitution down to Sound Ridge. So we have to take a look at the whole thing and see what.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it I believe we recently did an overlay on some of it. And so I think part of it was addressed in some sections.
Okay.
But it's to take a look at it, because what had happened was somebody had suggested a sidewalk from Long Hill Avenue to where the post office is.
Yep.
Along
Forest Parkway.
Forest, up to Forest
Yes.
Parkway, up to Forest Parkway. And when I brought that to the mayor's attention and suggested it to him, he says, well, because I don't know that you get a lot of walkers on Platte Road. He said, but, and I don't know if there's, but take a look at it. So take a look at Platte Road, but he said that while nobody's asked for it, the next question will be, what about Forest Parkway? And I think that there probably are not enough walkers on that.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's not, the Forest Parkway is not a residential area.
No, but I'd make a good loop if it was.
Yeah,
Think about it, you go Long Hill, Crossroads, Forest Parkway, Platte Road, instead of just up and down.
Yeah, and I think that the driving force here to incentive to look is that the American Relief Act money is, might be able to be used for that,
Right.
roads and sidewalks.
And drainage would be the biggest
Absolutely.
bang for
Yeah.
the buck, because that's
Yeah.
generational. That will last 50 years, 75 years. Paving and sidewalks last, 10 years.
10, 12 years, yeah.
Just more maintenance down the road, but
Yep.
if we can get some of the larger drainage projects done, that's like Monroe, Elm, that area,
Right.
that culvert's a 30-inch culvert, it handles half that hill.
Oh, it's,
So, I mean, now would be a good time to get that,
right,
a study appropriated to do that.
Is it something we can push and maybe get on the next agenda? We have to talk to the mayor.
Yeah, we've just asked to have an RFP put out by my office, then we can get some proposals, and then we get a budget set, but if we don't start acting on it now, I think it's an opportunity lost. Because that is a huge issue.
Yep,
Yeah, it is.
it is.
you're talking about Monroe.
Monroe,
Yeah.
the drainage from Monroe all the way
Down to
down.
Oak.
Okay,
Yeah, all the way down to Long Hill.
That area is difficult,
right, but it's,
it's very heavy
I would say it's the number one.
concern.
It's been like that for a while.
Agreed.
Well, Eric and I will speak to the mayor when he gets back about it. And, you want, just for the record, you want an RFP, you want to proceed with an RFP for.
Yeah, I'd like permission from the board to put out an RFP for a drainage study. And at that point, we get to start working on a budget, see what the budget would be,
Okay,
baby steps here, but let's get moving.
yeah, because these things, RFP is gonna take some time before it
Yeah.
gets.
Next thing you know, it's 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah, I know.
Sure, exactly.
And, you get the RFP, that takes 3 months just to get the RFP to select somebody, and then they do the study, and that's gonna take time.
Right.
Yeah.
And design, yeah. If we need property rights,
And we've got it, if we've got a window on this ARP money,
right.
then, I think we gotta spend it by 2025.
25
I think it was 5 years. Yeah.
and 25.
It was 25. Yeah.
All right.
Next.
That'll be in the minutes, so.
Okay, but Meadow Street around the school and up towards Wyasek and down near EMS, we spoke.
Yeah,
Sidewalk currently goes from Shelton Avenue up to number 144 Meadow. May have to get part of it cleared off. The brush, one section of the brush is really overgrown, but
Right.
and that's an asphalt sidewalk?
Yes.
entirely.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one is there. I think we need to open it up. Maybe if it needs again overlay, we can look at that.
Okay.
The corner of Meadow and Wheeler.
That one,
I'm not sure because,
I'm lost on that
Yeah,
one because there's nothing.
no, you'd have to go from the walking trail up Meadow,
Street.
150 feet,
Yeah.
take a right on through Wheeler,
Yeah.
and then you come across the culvert, the open channel.
Right.
So,
Well, the thing that I experience every time I take that turn.
Yeah.
Is that
There's a dip.
oh, yeah.
there's a huge dip in that, catch basin. It really goes down.
Huh, we left that for you.
And there is, yes,
Slow you down.
this is a lot of people, they just do this wide turn.
To avoid it.
And
Avoid it.
when they turn into Wheeler, boy, you gotta watch if you're coming out because you get creamed. But that dip is really,
Yes.
Yeah, but I wasn't sure what
it's a headache. Neither
the
am I.
sidewalk in that area would be for unless we put a
Well, the
crosswalk.
only thing I had talked about was a sidewalk, a sidewalk, because there's a trail across from the
Right.
PD. And there's a tremendous amount of people and they're coming from everywhere. And I think maybe there's a little confusion with it, was to maybe put a asphalt sidewalk there so people can walk on that and then go down into the trail where they can walk on the sidewalk there and then, they can access the trail, but the corner there, I am not
Okay,
too sure of.
yeah, all right, so I'll take that up because unless Unless we find out what it is.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
My understanding is that the condition of the Meadow Street sidewalks is in need of repair.
Okay.
So that has to be.
Right, that's what I put down for a note, yeah.
And
That's
that,
on the other side.
that
Right,
sidewalk,
Right,
that Meadow Street sidewalk goes all the way down to the corner.
you're correct.
So where the trail crosses, the sidewalk crosses the trail, right?
Well, there's a crosswalk at Shelton Ave and Meadow.
Yeah.
You can come up Shelton Ave, take that crosswalk across the street, and then walk all the way up to the high school and beyond.
And then on the other side
Right,
of Shelton Avenue, you have the other part of Meadow where
Right.
there's an asphalt side, which was redone, I
That's
think.
right.
We did that
Yeah.
not too long ago, yeah.
So we're covered there with
yeah, I think so.
all of those. Okay, I just want to take a moment before we adjourn. Is that I drove up Constitution and excellent job. It really looks good. It's nice. You know, then you did Constitution North with the chip sealing
Yes,
and everything.
by the schools, yeah.
Yeah, and that'll be something for the fire sealer to come back and take care of. So, but you know, the things are getting done. Weather has not been on our side.
No,
And I know both your departments are, you know, because I have a lot of interaction with both your departments and I see the amount of work that's being done. And so, and it's not easy. So I say thank you.
Thank you.
thank you.
At this moment, barring any other comments, concerns or anything like that, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
There's a second?
Yeah, there's a second, sorry.
All in favor? Aye.
I-
Motion carries and we are adjourned and I thank you, everybody.